everybody, today we're doing a very winged smoky eye, like not a winged, it's more like a very feline shape. It goes very deep in the inner corners and out on the outer corners. And I posted a picture about that on my Instagram. I believe it was this past Monday. So if you wanna check it out, go do so. I'm gonna do it in a different color, so it's the same thing, just more using like brownie shades, just so that you can see that you can make this, you can do this look with any color that you want, really. So let's get started. So I just prep my skin. I use moisturizer, and I use a very beat up Amber Release, the last bits of what I have. I'm not gonna do my foundation now because I'm only gonna use concealer. The look is very intense on the eyes, so I don't want to put a lot of foundation on my skin. So I'm just using concealer, and because some of it is gonna drop down, I don't want to mess it up and have to do it all over again. So I'm gonna start with the eyes. So I'm gonna start with a black pencil, and I'm using one that that sets, but that gives me a lot of time to blend it in. If I were to use something like the Marc Jacobs one, even though it sets really well, it gives me less playtime, and I want to be able to diffuse it very much. So I'm going for the Makeup for Everyone. I'm just gonna start drawing in between the lashes, and I'm gonna do a very rough shape at first, just because we're gonna blend everything so it doesn't have to be so precise. So go close to your lashes and start thickening it up. Excuse my English. And the line has to go deep into your inner corner. And then we're gonna do the same on the bottom. Remember that we want to elongate the shape outwards. So that means that, for example, my eyes are very round, so I can't really follow that line here because otherwise it would go too upwards, and the flip wouldn't be able to be so long just because my fold, it's just the way it would connect wouldn't work on my upper lid just because of the fold. It would like make the line wobbly. So I have to start winging it out on top from the outer corner outwards. Don't worry if it's messy, that is fine. And then bring it down. But like I was saying, because my eye is very round, I do have to fill in a little bit more underneath in this outer corner. So this is going to depend on your eye shape. If your eyes are more almond shaped, you may not have to do this. You can just maybe follow along the natural line of your eye, but it will depend. So I'm just tracing along. Gonna sharpen it a little bit more. And here in this inner corner, I also have to go a little bit lower than my natural line. So it helps if I draw the inner flick coming from the top. So I bring it in from above and then connected and feeling what I have to fill in. Okay, so I'm gonna do one eye at a time just because I don't want this to set and not move at all. So I lined top and bottom, and I did the inside. Again, top and bottom on the waterline. So I'm just gonna take a brown eyeshadow. And I'm using this quad by L'Oreal, so very cheap. And I'm gonna use these like shimmery gold shade. And I'm gonna go with a brush like this. So something very small that is gonna allow me to be very precise. So I'm just gonna start blending the shade just on the edge of that pencil. Just to blend everything in and make it very soft. Not very soft, it's gonna be graphic, but the edge is gonna be softer, is what I mean. And just use a Q-tip if you have to correct anything. And you might find that you have to go back in and blend some more after you do the concealing, because you might end up with a very harsh line, but that's fine. We can do that. And if you want, you can take a small blending brush and just go over it. I would actually like to go over it with this shade here, which is also like a caramel shade, but it's matte. And this is just gonna make it look even more blended. Okay, so I finished this eye and I'm gonna go and do the other one. Let's pray that it looks the same.
Why can't you see? Why can't you see? Cause it feels like staring you right the face. Why can't you choose? Why can't you lose? It's the same night, every night, same place.
Okay, so I finished my eyes and now I'm gonna do my skin. And I'm going to apply some of the Photo Finish Primerizer by Smashbox. And just gonna pat it everywhere on my skin. And don't worry if the eyes are not looking so perfect. That's fine. We're gonna take care of that when we do concealer. So I'm gonna take my Born This Way Sculpting Concealer. I'm back to using this. This is such a great product. And I'm gonna put it inside here because I have dark circles here. And just dot it around my face. I'm doing this because the eyes are very intense. So I don't want anything. I don't want to make the look too heavy and try hard. I wanna keep it as just kind of like rock and roll as I can while still being pretty. Kind of like a rock-glam. And if you need more precision, you take a flat brush. So like going to the little nooks of the face. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this concealer on the back of my hand, just a tiny bit. You really need the tiniest bit with this one, and just going to perfect the shape of this inner corner here. This is even too much. This concealer is so pigmented. So the good thing about it is that because it is so pigmented, you can get away with using just a teeny tiny bit and still cover a lot. And this look you can do with the liquid liner as well, and it would be even more graphic, and that would look very pretty. And the technique would be really the same one. You just have to like be more steady with your hand. You have to be more careful. So I guess the good thing about this one is that it gives you the effect without having to be so precise. And now, I'm gonna again take my black pencil and intensify a little bit. Just gonna apply a very thick coat of mascara, concentrating, like focusing on the outer corner, just to emphasize that shape. Okay, so now we're gonna do bronzer, and I'm using the Chanel one just to keep the skin really fresh. And I'm gonna use it sort of like on top of my bone, just to give the illusion of higher cheekbones. And bringing it ever so slightly onto the apples of the cheeks. This is gonna be both my bronzer, my contour, and my blush. So actually, if you think about it, so far we have only used what? 1, 2, 3, 4 products? 5 products? So it's really not bad. Of course, the amount of products that you use for it to do something will depend on what you like and how your skin is. On myself, I can kind of skip foundation on an everyday basis. But for example, for my clients, I rarely ever do, just because, well, they're getting their makeup done, so they like to feel like they're like getting the full glam on. So it's not something that I do with my clients, just using concealer. And also, people tend to think that they need a lot of coverage when they, honestly, most of the times they don't. They could get away with using a tinted primer and just tinted moisturizer and just concealing whatever they have to conceal. I'm gonna do it on top of across the bridge of my nose. Okay, so the lips I kind of just want to keep them in the background, so I'm just gonna use a nude pencil. I'm using the one by McGrath, which are really nice because they last really well on the lips. And my lips feel kind of dry, and I should have put a tiny bit of lip balm before starting, but it's fine because we're actually going to use a lip balm, a tinted lip balm on top. I'm just giving them a bit of fullness on the top. And with my tinted lip balm, just pat it. And I feel like for me this is a bit too nudie. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow the lips, kind of blend it in with my finger. I'm also gonna take that concealer brush that I used. And take a tiny bit more concealer. Teeny tiny bit. And just go along the edges. Just to sort of like perfect the shape of it. I want it to be soft, but I don't want it to be messy. So this is the final look, and I really hope you enjoyed it. So we have the Feline shape on the eyes. You can do this with a liquid liner. You can use the Kat Von D one, which I really like, the one that has like a brush, tattoo liner. Clinique has a really good one too, or NYX Epic ink liner, I believe it's called, and that will give you even more of a graphic shape. And we have the very fresh bronze skin and a nude lip, and it's really cool. It's really rock chic, I guess, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.